Welcome to Stab Panda's Pro Tips for Independent Bands, the show where I say things you don't want to hear. My name's Liam, and today I'm talking about when bands should be recording albums. You basically don't need an album until your band is touring. There, I said it. What you want is an EP, 3 or 5 tracks, cheap recording but well presented, with information for how people can get hold of you, and you don't mind giving them away for nothing because you've printed 5,000 and they're in the way of your drummer's van. So it kind of acts like a audio business card, I guess. An album is a big deal. Okay, it means you're a finished product, okay? The whole process of, ooh, do people like this, is this any good? That's over for when you do the album, okay? Yeah, fair enough, you might change between albums 1 and 5, but that's just age. People change with age, that's normal. You're not changing necessarily because your fans require it. Changing because your fans require it should be happening at the EP stage when you're doing your demos. An album means that you know how to write music people want to hear and will pay to hear, and you know how to present yourself as a professional musician. Whether or not you actually are one, you probably should be, or at least on the verge of being one if you're releasing an album. And the process of turning your music into stuff people want to hear is really easy because we have the internet now. The reason you're watching this is because of the internet, and I'm using the internet to tell you to keep using the internet. Post your demos online and get people to feedback. What do they want to hear? What would they purchase? Okay, use the internet to get constructive criticism, assuming you can handle constructive criticism, yeah? There is far too much focus on indie bands for getting an album finished because completing an album makes you feel like a much bigger deal than you actually are. But then completing the album is one thing, having the launch gig, the launch party is one thing, but if you've got all these albums and no one's buying it because there's no buzz about it and people don't care and they don't actually want to buy your music, that's going to make you feel way worse than just not doing the album, isn't it? You need to wait until you've played a whole load of gigs, until you know what your fans want, you know what your fans are going to pay for, and playing gigs allows you to adjust songs for the benefit of your fans, and you're able to see what your fans are responding to in real time. If you know that your sober fans aren't dancing to a particular song, then you know maybe don't put that song on an album. As far as you're concerned, that's what gigs should be for in the early stages. In the meantime, don't be in a hurry to complete an album. Take your time crafting it so you know it's something that people will want to buy. I've used that phrase in so many iterations so many times already, but that's the case. Don't do an album if people aren't going to want an album. And if I haven't convinced you already, think about it this way. If you do an album that your band isn't ready for, your fans don't care about, and you have loads left over and it's a bit crap, that's going to be really embarrassing to think about in a few years, isn't it? Rather than taking the time to know what people want and then having a really successful launch and not having loads of the album left over, that's going to make you feel an awful lot better, isn't it, by comparison? Another thing to consider, in a few years' time when you're inevitably really famous, your Wikipedia entry is going to list all of your album releases, including the ones you really would rather forget. What it's not going to list is EPs and demos. So there you go. I hope I haven't destroyed your dreams just yet. I've been Liam. Please like if you enjoyed this. Please subscribe if you want more videos. Please comment if you agree or if you disagree or if you have a question or if you want to tell me that you like my hat. You can't see my hat right now. It's a secret hat. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.